You are now listening to Artists at Work.
Artists at Work.
Artists at Work. Welcome back to another episode of the Artists at Work podcast. I'm your host, 1am.
I'm Isaias.
And the music purge that we just did, 30 days, is finally over. It's been over for a little while, but we've kind of taken some time to reflect before coming with this episode.
We've been talking about doing it, and here we are with this next podcast.
Yep. So to give a recap, what we did was the secular music purge, which was basically brought on by Tim Ross and Jackie Hill Perry. And basically secular music is like just music that's not
for God, right?
For God, I guess,
or
it's
about
like
our faith.
It's like mainstream music, pretty much.
What you hear on the radio.
That's what people call, I guess, they call mainstream music secular music. So their challenge was to basically fast from your favorite music, from mainstream music, for 30 days, and to either only listen to like gospel music, Christian music, or even just like instrumentals, you know,
with no lyrics,
and also doing that, like kind of going into like depth of like your own favorite songs and like looking at the lyrics and like kind of like reflecting on what exactly are you listening to.
Yeah.
You know?
And stepping back from the music you've been listening to your whole life, it changes a lot of things when you remove it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So why did we do it?
Well, the whole point was to kind of transform our minds.
I was like, challenge accepted.
I was like, I'm down. I'm not doing it. Yeah.
Because like for me, I have a lot of playlists, and like on Spotify, I have like over 15 to 20 playlists maybe.
Yeah.
And they're all like my different moods and different vibes or whatever. And like, it's a mix. I mean, I haven't really been like putting just hip hop or just R&B, you know what I mean? It's just like a mix of different songs for that, like that particular vibe.
It's literally your library of all the songs worth keeping track of.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And they're always on replay. So
if it wasn't Spotify today, it'd be like your iPod, like back in the day.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's where everything,
literally.
or your backup with your downloads on your computer. But
literally, and I still have downloads of music, and I still have CDs and stuff. But
and for me, the music I've always like had in my life was just like the music I was exposed to from like family or just like the radio or
Right.
or every day driving, like you hear people playing music, you hear
commercials.
music in the stores.
Nowadays, it's like everything on Instagram or TikTok. It all has like a little video,
Yeah.
you know, with like a song, like a mainstream song.
Everything
on it.
has to come, with its own like song to add to it.
So in a way, it was kind of like a cool challenge to like really take on, because I mean, I'm open to stuff like that. So, and especially too, like I have faith in God and I believe. So it's like, okay, like I'm open to it. I'll try it, you know, because I mean, I kind of like listen to both nowadays. I like both secular music and gospel music. Or it's called mainstream music, whatever.
Yeah.
It feels weird calling it secular music because not all secular music is bad, you know? So,
but some of it, if you analyze the content, it's for sure spreading a wrong message.
I'm just saying
No,
that
I know.
not all music
Yes, and
is
that
bad.
and that's on your. It's on a spectrum, and you
It's
know
yeah.
what is one side and
Well,
what is the
yeah.
other. And then for me, I was like, when we heard of the challenge, I wanted to grow more in my faith. So anything that can get you thinking about God more, thinking about like kind of analyzing your own life and whether what you're pursuing or doing is right.
Yeah.
So it was just along that line. It aligned with what we were basically reaching for.
Right.
So
if you guys are interested in more of why we did it and what it was about, definitely go check out the previous episode where we talk about it. But now we're going to share with you what we learned from doing this music purge.
Yeah.
And, you know, it sounded like a whale.
I think it's an airplane.
Okay, well,
That was weird.
I'll redo that. So now we're gonna actually tell you guys what we learned from doing this music purge. Do you wanna go first?
What did we learn?
You
Yeah.
have your notes on your phone.
Alright, you go first while I
Okay.
pull it up.
So basically what I learned from doing the music purge was, for me, I love obviously I love music. I make music, but I'm so dependent on music that like I would just go to it for everything, like when I was dealing with stuff. That's kind of
That's true.
naturally like what we do is like we go, if you're a music head, you go listen to some of your favorite songs and it makes you feel better or it makes you work out whatever you're dealing with. So for me, like I learned that I was just very dependent on music, and instead of going to God for my problems, I was going to my music and just kind of like getting that temporary feel better. You know what I mean? So for me, like in a way, like music was my idol. And that's what made me really realize, like, wow, like, okay, I need to like check myself when it comes to that, especially like trying to grow in my faith and trying to be closer to God and trying to allow him to work through me and, shape my mind. So a lot of that music was kind of like conflicting with a lot of what I was, supposed to be doing to grow, and then just kind of like pushing it in the back end just because I wanted to feel better or whatever. So that was like
Interesting.
probably the biggest things that I've learned. And then the second thing that I learned was that because I was taking a break from some of my favorite songs, it's like towards the beginning, because I wasn't really so into like Christian music and Christian rap and stuff like that. I wasn't really like listening to music. I was just kind of like taking a break from music. Like I was like slowly kind of digging into it and trying to find stuff that I liked and create like another playlist, which now I have a really cool playlist of music. But um, basically, I was just trying to like allow my mind to be quiet. And in doing that, that kind of allowed my mind and my imagination to kind of run. So I was able to like exercise my creativity in a way that like really helped my writing process, because I recently like just sat down with Senior Gigio and we did a session on Zoom, and I had no issue, no writer's block at all. It was just like I heard the beat and like boom, the word just came spilling out of my heart. And like I was like, okay, wow, like I think in a way this kind of helped my creativity because I'm not comparing myself to another artist, or I'm not like trying to copy their style, or I'm not drawing any influence. I'm just being my 100% authentic self. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing that because that's naturally like how we grow and how we like become who we are. But I really realized like being able to quiet my mind also helped with my anxiety, my imagination, my peace, my inner peace. So, um, and then I found a lot of music that I liked, a lot of new music that I
Yeah.
thought was really dope. And I'll let you go.
No, yeah, now we're, like, continuing in that direction, and it's like now we don't, like, crave listening to, like, a lot of the music we were listening to.
Yeah, like it's like sugar, like, right? Like a sugar purge. You like stop
E
doing a bunch of eating a
eating so
bunch
much
of
sugar, yeah, things filled
like
with sugar.
anything that's like processed too, and
You kinda
once you come off of it, you don't really like crave it so much, but also like when you do take a bite of something natural, it's like even more sweeter.
and then, yeah, like Tim Ross mentioned that in that same yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So for me, what I learned from the purge is just the the impact that music has on our lives. Because again, when you like take something out that you love, it forces you to kind of think differently,
Right.
or like, yeah, just analyze and reflect. And that's exactly what it did. And we did it hoping to be transformed, and indeed we were transformed. And now moving in the direction, because I'm connected to music more than just listening to it, but I'm around it, exposed to artists through you.
Yeah.
But now it's like our intention and our mindset, it's like in a different place of like wow, this is the impact of music. Now we know this, and it's like, now where should we take the music? And be more aware of what music we're allowing into our ears.
But also how it's, like, affecting us too.
Yeah, our
'Cause,
mood.
like, I mean, we have a friend that, you know, he's dealing with a lot of stuff, but he also is, like, always depressed, and what he listens to obviously reflects how he feels because he relates, but it's like a consistent, like, "I'm sad, so Imma listen to this sad song," and then we're
So he's doing the same things that make him feel the same
just
way.
continuing the sadness versus, like, maybe turning on something more upbeat or whatever, you know,
Yeah,
and changing it a little, switching it up and adding some more, light
yeah,
to your routine or whatever, you know?
yeah. No, I get it. And then so yeah, one of the things I wrote down was that just being much more aware of what kind of music is being played or listened to. Overall,
Mhm.
being conscious of the lyrics and what the artist is conveying.
Yeah.
And I learned that we should be more, yeah, to add, we should be more aware, and it's a purpose of guarding like our hearts and our spirits.
Yeah.
Because if we're say there's a song that we know is bad, but like we're still listening to it for some reason, and it's like that's almost like tainting us. It can
Or it's,
cause us
like,
to
also
sin.
making it, like, kinda okay too, like, a lot of the female rappers coming out, talking about certain things that it's just like, "Oh, like, it's okay to do that," like, 'cause men do it, so women can do it too, but, I mean, that doesn't really translate
Yeah,
properly, you
in a
know what I
way,
mean?
some of
Like
the no, you're right. In a way, some of the music and the radio, they're trying to push like the status
well, a
quo
lot of promiscuity
or change
too,
it. Well, that's what I'm
you
saying.
know?
So it's like, oh, having multiple sex partners, right?
Right,
Like you said, being like that's okay. Doing
right.
drugs, slapping.
But even, like, psychologically, like, if you even just not even think about it religiously, but psychologically, that just impacts a person so much to the point where they just don't even, like they have, like, issues when they're actually ready to be in a committed relationship,
That's very true. And now you
and
have more people wanting to be single more than
right, but
ever,
then at the same
and
time,
then marriage is on the
you
decline,
have so many people that are wanting to be single, but at the same time, they feel so alone.
but they don't know how to be with someone
But they don't
either.
know how to be with themselves, and they don't know how to be with someone.
Yeah,
But that's just, like, one topic
it's toxic.
influenced in a way by music. Another, like, big lesson is just, like, music really does have so much power to, like, influence. So,
Oh yeah,
you know
it's huge, and it's used as a. It could be used as a weapon, as a form of control. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I mean, some of the music can even have like I don't know, sometimes like they have spells on them or something.
I
I
mean,
mean, like
well, yeah, I mean, thinking about it,
deeper than that too.
like freaking those songs where they, like, play it backwards and it's, like, saying a
Gosh,
bunch of evil stuff or, like
that's crazy. Well, and not only that, but even going into the frequencies they play the music at. That's
yeah, like,
something that
low frequencies or,
no,
like,
like
keep you
well,
down.
because there's I don't even remember the hertz, but there's a hertz that's like good, and it's like if
Is that but I think that's a we're
oh,
getting off topic, though.
well, I'm just
We're
saying,
getting off
yeah.
topic.
All
Let's
right,
stay on topic.
fine.
That's a whole 'nother
But
conversation.
the music you're listening to is really impactful in a good way or a bad way.
On your mood and
It's
your
either
your mental well-being, for
yeah.
sure. That's definitely one of the biggest things we learned, but why don't we talk about some of the new artists that we found and the kinda cool, like, interesting fun fact
Mhm.
that for every mainstream rapper, there is a Christian rapper the exact same. Like, they sound exactly the same, it's like a trip. But do you wanna talk about some of your favorite artists so far or some of your favorite songs? And then I have, like, a list of
Well,
artists
yeah,
that I
the
like.
biggest artist that I was, exposed to was Holvey.
Right.
And then, like, yeah, I don't usually go looking for music, like, I don't make time to be on my phone and just listen to music or,
Yeah.
like, find it throughout the day.
That's me, I just make the
I
playlist for
know,
you.
but so Hovey, shout out to him. We're trying to
Yeah.
come see you in August.
Yeah, we're
Um,
gonna go all the way to Texas just to
yeah,
see him.
your music and then some of the artists that she's gonna list off, helped us through 30-day purge of non-secular or secular music.
Yeah.
And then it just helped grow in our faith too, big time for me, for sure. hearing another male like talk about all that in music related to God and what he's been through. It's
Mhm.
like really powerful. That is just super vulnerable, super out there in the open, and just giving praise to God.
Yeah. I made a list of 10 artists that I thought were pretty dope in the Christian realm, and I'm gonna start with the men and then finish off with the females. So this isn't in a particular order, but we'll just go down the list. So the first one I was exposed to is MTM Isaiah. I think he's super dope. He's on the East Coast.
Hmm.
Second is Brian T. He's I believe he's from Texas, but he's a Chicano. So he's holding it down for us Mexicans.
Yeah,
The next one is Miles Minnick. He's from the Bay Area. He's actually doing a Glow Fest today on the freaking hottest day ever.
right now still. Yeah,
But, shout out to him for holding it down in the Bay for us believers. Then the second is Don Reddy, and then the last one is obviously Hulvey because he's probably one of the biggest Christian rappers right now, I think.
the two artists.
He's, like, trending right
Yeah,
now.
no, I mean huge.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait, wait, I'm still going.
Okay.
Okay, so now for the females, Taryn, I hope I'm saying her name right. Portia Love, Childlike Kiki, or
Cece, I think.
Cece maybe. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it. She's dope too. Wande is like she's so cool. Like I just have a little comment about her. She's like the first female to be signed by Reach, first female rapper as a Christian rapper to be signed by Reach. So shout out to her. And then Jackie Hill Perry, of course, because that was the first female Christian rapper I was exposed to, and I was like, whoa, she's like poetic and just like she's really good with words. So
And I still need to learn more about her. I know you shared her podcast with me, and I've watched them, and now
yeah, her and her husband have a
yeah,
podcast.
and then even her on her own, I know she's doing a lot of stuff, and what does she do? Because
She's a speaker for women's
there
ministry.
we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's doing that. She's an artist, and I know the Spirit's definitely moving through her to
Oh
like
yeah.
call people to the Word,
Yeah.
to God. So yeah, I still need to do my own more digging on some of these artists as well. Hovey's story is crazy. He'll tell you himself
Yeah,
that.
go ahead and check out any of these artists. I'm gonna leave a list in the description if you're
Mhm.
curious just to hear what they sound like or what their music sounds like and what they're about.
Well, another one of my favorite artists right now that I've been exposed to is Caleb Gordon. He's been pretty cool in the music, so
Yeah, yeah.
good sound for sure.
Super clean, super clean.
It's like trap hip hop for God, or like what is it?
I don't know, but he's onto something for sure.
Yeah,
So moving forward, what will be different, I guess, coming from this music purge? Like what are we gonna be doing differently? For sure, I personally want to just keep in mind like my personal struggles and like making sure that I'm not allowing music to be like my idol and spending more time with God when it comes to like dealing with my problems. And then I guess second thing moving forward, I want to also just be more aware, I guess, of like who I'm listening to and what I'm listening to cuz like there's a lot of songs I listen to that I obviously like don't agree with or like I'm just like not uh I just kind of like ignore certain parts of the song, but I think like maybe just kind of filtering out like some of that. Like
yeah,
I've been doing that with some of my music, kind of just like filtering out some of the songs that I'm just like, you know what? I don't need that in my life. It's not doing any good for me and or my mindset.
yeah. What will be different for me is again being more conscious of what I'm actively listening to.
Mm.
Um, and then just being more careful what people are saying in their lyrics, because again, if it sound they can say certain things in a song and make it sound really good,
Oh yeah, it
but
sounds
then really you
nice.
break down the lyrics and you actually say like, "Whoa, like that's not good. Why would they even
Yeah.
say that to?"
Or that's just like mad
So
disrespectful or it's like messed
so yeah,
up.
to help me live a certain life and think, like clean, better thoughts, and not be, like tempted to sin. I want to definitely listen to music that helps me to
Mhm.
be stronger in my faith and just be a better husband, a
Yeah.
better man. So that's what would be different, just being more conscious, being more aware for sure. Even though people can, they can play all the music trending, but just knowing what kind of life you're trying to live, what kind of person you're trying to be.
Right, right. I wanna give one more shout out because Ruslan KD, he's really dope. He's a really dope Christian rapper, and he's a really good, YouTube influencer, right? I don't
Yeah,
know what the
he's
title
a
is.
huge influencer right now,
He's super
and
dope,
God's helping him grow his platform
exactly,
big
yeah.
time.
So, shout out to him, and so, yeah, this is basically just a follow-up of what we've been on. We tried out the music Purge, and we're definitely, like, liking the results, and definitely wanna give, like, some encouragement for you guys to try it out. I mean, you don't have to be religious, you don't have to be, like, all into that if you're not comfortable with it, but definitely keeping in mind, like, the music that you're listening to definitely has influence on your life and influence on your mental health and your subconscious in a way, so
And that's like number 1 right
yeah,
now,
that's
honestly.
number 1, so definitely wanna encourage you guys to just give it a try. I mean, you guys could take a break from your favorite mainstream music and start listening to just like maybe start simple, start with just some instrumentals or maybe jazz, a different genre
Yeah,
without lyrics, and definitely reflect on some of your favorite songs, like looking at just the lyrics. Like don't even listen to your favorite song, but just look at the lyrics and kind of like reflect on like why do you like this song? What do you relate to? And then what do they mean by certain things that they say? Because it's definitely a different experience reading the lyrics versus like hearing them, with like a beautiful voice or like with
yeah,
a dope flow,
yeah,
So definitely want to encourage you guys to like try it out. If you guys do try it out, definitely let us know in the comments like what you guys have learned or if you guys would even try it out. Would you go crazy without listening to your favorite music? What would that be like for you guys for 30 days to
yeah.
just take a break from all your favorite music?
And then another thing I wanna say is, like, even if you're not religious or, like, you wouldn't even know where to start, I guess it doesn't have to be from the religious standpoint, right?
Yeah, or if you
But
even believe in God or a God or you know what I mean, but definitely taking that step further of like giving your brain quiet time, letting your imagination run, also reflecting on what you're consuming, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
like,
Like
meditating on that for sure. Okay.
spiritually, mentally, and physically. I mean, music has a way of just moving us as people. So, it's definitely important to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
And just a side note, I just wanted to Google it just to see because it just like popped in my head, but I was just like super curious. So this is from gotquestions.org. Was Satan in charge of music in heaven? Because it popped in my mind, so I was like, let me see it. So Ezekiel 28:13 of either King James Version or New King James Version seems to hint that Satan was involved with music in heaven because it says the workmanship of your trembles and pipes was prepared for you on the day you were created. Although the exact meaning of this is difficult, the Hebrew text is uncertain. There may have been such instruments in heaven, but there is no evidence outside this verse to verify. So perhaps the harps, but not the timbrels or pipes. I'm not sure. But the other thing to note is that the devil was an angel of light,
Like
perfection,
God created him to be.
beauty, and I mean, if you think about it, like a lot of things that seem harmless and seem beautiful or like, they seem good. They always like end up being like super toxic and bad,
Yeah,
like a woman. Like yeah, it makes me think of like a dude seeing a beautiful woman and then she ends up being like some crazy psycho
on the
chick.
inside.
Yeah, like
And that's making me think of 'cause, God wants us or loves when we worship him, right, in
yeah.
prayer and
Mhm.
song,
Right.
and it makes him happy in heaven,
Right.
but when the music we're listening to does the opposite of that,
Or
rather
is
it's like
like
for
enabling us to just continue doing the things that
the
makes
sin
him
that like,
mad.
focusing on ourselves,
Right.
doing whatever
Right.
we wanna do, pleasuring ourselves,
Right.
hurting people.
right,
doing drugs,
or
yeah.
being, all, like, about vanity and, like,
Mhm.
about your look and about money and material things. It's just like, even if you look at it from, like, a non-believer standpoint, it's like, as a human being, none of those things are, like, fulfilling.
Yeah, they leave
Like,
you
at the
pretty
end of the
empty
day,
and
like,
alone.
love between, like, people, you know what I mean? Like, that's super fulfilling, like, love between friends and family. Majority of the time, that's what most common people, like,
Yeah.
just crave, like, they want. That's the
Not
natural
not
thing.
material possessions,
No, we
and
just think that,
it's what America will
it's a
have us.
temporary little fix, but, but anyways, guys, we're trailing off, but I just wanted to encourage you guys again to try it out and let us know if you guys do try it out, or if you wouldn't try it out, why wouldn't you try it out?
And
So
then we're gonna put the link to that original podcast video with Tim Ross and Jackie Perry Hill, where she actually
right,
right?
and the one we did before this one, just kinda explaining why we were even doing it. That was like a 15 into the 15 days that we were already doing it,
Yeah,
so
and then now it's after 30.
now it's over. So thank you guys for listening. If you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, we appreciate you guys, and we have a few topics coming up for the next podcast. So definitely make sure you guys subscribe, follow us, let us know what you guys are feeling so far about the podcast, and
Yeah.
we're just gonna keep on going until we can't. So
Yeah, and to let us know who is watching, like she said, let's get some engagement,
yeah,
so
we'll get
just
some
like it,
shout
a simple
outs.
like,
Let's get some
and
shout
that'll
outs.
actually tell us.
Yeah. So, thank you guys for watching. This has been the Artist at Work podcast. I'm your host, 1am.
Besides, thank you.
Peace. Stay creative.